Stage 2 of quitting weed is the, how do I say, the de-stalking. This is when I start looking for all the little bits that are left around the place. You know, like on the stalks, I'll shave them off as much as I can for any little bits of bud. And it will be the beginning of the feeling of desperation starting to settle in, where I start to scrape around and bargaining, you know, like that feeling of, oh, but if I can just get a little bit more, then I'll be able to carry myself through. Carry myself through to what? I don't know. You know? It's just the idea of carrying myself through, and I guess usually it's carrying myself through to the next time I have weed, because I haven't made that decision that I don't want to smoke. That's the thing, I still want to smoke. You know, and I guess that's the feeling, that's why it is that you have to, that you can't stop unless you want to, you know? And I'm really looking to, I'm looking for that place where I want to. You know, I'm not there. I'm not there at all, but I'm looking for it. This is my grinder knife. I use this to scrape out the grinders that I've been using. If you smoke, you know. If you don't, you don't. But and all of the tiny little bits of weed and ganja that have been left on my grinder, I'll start picking away at them. Like some kind of beaver. You know, hunting for little bits of marijuana. And if anyone ever tells you that marijuana is not addictive, then please just refer them to this video, because the things that I've done in order to get marijuana, I mean, are just like as desperate as you can imagine. Like I've had sex to get weed. I've had sex to get the money to get weed. It's definitely a thing that's happened. I've stolen to get weed. You know, I've been in relationships for extended periods of time because they made it easy to have weed. I've fucking jeopardized relationships that I love because I didn't have weed or because I wanted to get weed. Like, I'd say it's just as addictive as anything else, because any substance is as addictive as the person who takes it will allow it to be, you know? And I think my addictive behaviors will take me to some very dark places, you know? Like, I will be out at 6 in the morning looking on the street for cigarette butts. That's something that I do. And that to me is like, just as, that's the lowest of the low. And I'm not talking about anyone else. That's like a behavior that I do. That's the lowest of the low. And that, you know, when I haven't got my fix, I go down to the darkest and lowest places. And like, I like to consider myself to be like a spiritual person. But it's like, unless your spirituality can help you in those darkest places without having to go there, it doesn't really mean much, does it? You know, it's not really a spirituality that's worth following, unless it guides you out of the darkness. And I don't know, as long as I'm smoking weed, I'm realizing I'm never going to be able to guide myself out of the darkness. And I love weed, man. I love smoking. I love the ganja. I love everything about it. But I feel like I don't love weed more, I don't love myself more than I love weed. And that's not okay, man. That's got to change. You know, I need to enjoy my own company more than I enjoy life stoned. And I think it's going to be hard to do because, like, I have actual problems that I smoke because of. You know, I have actual life shit that I smoke to work out and to feel okay with. You know, life shit that a lot of people wouldn't be able to feel okay with, actually. You know, and life shit that sometimes requires weed to deal with. And I gotta remember to myself how brave a thing it is to even consider smoking, not smoking. You know, how brave a thing it is for, I know this sounds like self-pity, but it's not self-pity, man. Sometimes you've got to let yourself off of a hook that you've been living on. I'm in a disparate situation, you know? I've been born into poverty, and I'm trying to get myself out of it. But I shouldn't expect myself to already be out of it, you know? And on the road to getting rich and being a, what's the word, productive member of society with an active business. Part of that is getting off of drugs and getting slowly out of a certain situation, you know, before you get into a certain situation. And I plan to be an old man who's got his abundance in check, you know? I plan to have stuff for my grandkids. I plan to die and pass something on, you know? So that means I'm going to have to take as much time as is necessary to heal and chill and become unified with the possibility, you know, because I have trauma to work through, and I don't know that I'm ever going to work through that trauma while I'm still smoking. You know, it makes it too easy to just chill and just yeah, but you got to be grateful, you know, and I'm grateful to marijuana. I'm grateful to the energy of marijuana for having brought me peace when I couldn't find peace, you know, and it's brought me company, it's brought me cool people, you know, who were into it and all about the weed. And even if I was to judge that on the basis that, you know, we were only friends because of the weed, well then, apart from that, who would you have had, you know? The people who were together for the sports, or, you know, you had cool people around you, man. You know, and smoking some good weed and having some good people around you was great for a long time. And it's time to ascend that. You know, it's time to move on from that. I've got a thought right now, and I know that, like, now I'm saying it on video, I'm gonna have to follow it. I'm gonna have to follow it through to its logical conclusion. I'm gonna throw the grinder away. The grinder. I'm gonna throw it in the bin. I don't know if I can already. You gotta have a grinder, you know, if you're gonna be a stoner. And that's the thing. If you're gonna quit, you gotta throw it away. And so that will be like a huge decision, a huge change that will be made in my life, and I don't even know if I can even do that. Oh, I don't know if I can even do that. But I think it's time. I think it's time to make some decisions for myself and start working for the Ocean Hendrix of it all, you know? I'm going to start working for OHX. So, as I scrape out this last joint out of this grinder before it gets thrown away, I want you, if you're viewing this, like and subscribe and follow as you see me going through this journey. And, you know, as much as you can, hold me to account, you know? And if you see me smoking, let me know that, like, bro, you made a promise to yourself and to the viewers of the YouTube. You know? I'm gonna try and do like a whole video course on this, you know, and if I don't manage to do a video course on it, you know why it is, don't you? It's because I got fucking stoned and couldn't be bothered, like the rest of my life. Just stoned and couldn't be bothered. I'm a great musician, do you know that? I'm one of the best musicians I've ever met. I'm serious, man. I had like potential for days. Like, the music that I wrote made people cry. The music that I wrote made people dance. You know, the music that I wrote made people learn, man. And I guess, you know, it could have gone a really cool way if I hadn't been a drug addict and if I hadn't been born to a drug addict family. You know, it would have been so different. Because I can feel so many decisions in my life that have like fallen to the wayside because I wanted to get stoned instead, because I wanted to feel comfortable and I wanted to go to sleep, you know? What's the quote? What does he say? Those who love sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon them like a thief in the night. Those who love sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon them like a thief in the night. I heard Steve Harvey say that. I like Steve Harvey. He's got that vibe, you know? He's got that vibe, like he's working with people and he's getting shit done. And he might not be the smartest fucking dude. He might not be the most intelligent dude with the most complex vocabulary, but he is getting the fuck on with it, and he's a millionaire who's making his money, you know? And I'm out here admiring people who make their money at the moment, you know? Not people who exploit, not people who exploit, but people who enrich the lives of others while making their money. Oprah Winfrey enriched the lives of others while making her money, you know? God, I can't even think of any others. Madam CJ, she enriched the lives of others. Is that her name, Madam CJ Walker? Enriching the lives of others and making her money at the same time. Who else enriched the lives of others and made their money, guys? Leave in the comments below. Who enriched the lives of others and made their money at the same time? You know, who is it? Who is it? because there's people. I would say Jeff Bezos is out here. He's selling books, man. He's selling books and Magic the Gathering cards. He's enriching the lives of others and making that money. Hopefully, maybe a bit more in the future, he'll use that money to enrich the lives of others. But anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm going round in a circle in a vortex into the middle. This is my last joint. And it's not actually the last joint. This is stage 2 of 4 of running out of weed. And that's the dusty doobie, you know, the one from the grinder. And so, and as you might hear, there's a sudden descent into despair and also a rise into purpose that happens, like I can do this, I'm gonna get this done. You know, I believe in myself, I believe in me, I believe in you, I believe in what we've got going on here because it's special. We've worked on it. You know, we've worked on it for years, and I think finally the culmination of everything that we've, built together will come together as a wild dissemination of fear, you know? Because I tell you what, for all this time that I've been smoking weed to chase away the demons, I've been reinforcing the door, you know? Reinforcing the door of the portal where the demons want to come through. And you got to do that. You got to do that for as long as necessary before you can let the demons through. And I feel like I'm coming to a point in my life where I'm ready to let the demons through. Do you see what I mean? Where I'm ready to face life without drugs and be like, what up, man? What is this? What are you saying? What's your plan? You know? Because I got demons for days. They're everywhere. Demonic entities, not even just mine. I'm out here solving other people's demonic possessions. And the fact of the matter is that I will be a much more beneficial force for good. You know, a much more beneficial tool for spiritual evolution once I drop the weed. So I'm going to drop the weed. This is stage 2 of 4. You know, it's actually the nicest doobie because it's made from all of the scrapings, from all of the THC that's gotten gummed up in the joint, gummed up in the grinder. And so, instead of just a weed grinder, instead of just a weedy doobie, it's weedy and it's THC, and it's going to be lovely. And this will put me to bed because tomorrow is going to be day 1. So, over and out.